content. Alright, what's happening, my block buddies? Welcome to a brand new episode of Blocked Content. My name is Callum, and this is your content for today. Yes, for everyone who doesn't want spoilers on the game, there's a very high possibility that this thing is true, that this thing is actually the new character that everybody's been waiting for. A couple of people have not been waiting for. So if you don't want any spoilers or potential spoilers, click away now. There's a lot of fun stuff on the channel in the meantime. If you do want to find out, and some of you already have, just stay here. I'm going to talk about it. We are going to do some leak speak. All right, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, it's going to be here like in a few months. It's very close. And I just want to take a look at this image that has sprung up. It's been widely regarded as this could definitely be real. It's like a leak that shows so much that could not have been faked or could have been like very difficultly faked. So I'm going to reserve judgment until we finish this discussion, right? But yeah, this is looking like it might be true. So we're in for a wild ride because this could either like confirm a lot of theories as well. So this is turning out to be very interesting, right? We talked about the Direct a little bit. We talked about what Isabelle coming to the franchise means for Smash. And of course, we talked about the previous leak in which, spoiler alert, we talked about Incineroar and a little bit about Ken from Street Fighter. Now, we are going to talk a little bit more about that guy in this discussion because Ken supposedly has been leaked in this image. Now, this image shows a lot, and I want to go over it with you guys. I mean, if you just look at this, there's so much information that could have not been faked at all. I mean, just the poses that the characters are in and the quality of the picture, it's insane. Anyways, we're gonna do a comment question today. We're also gonna read a comment from one of you guys, which is always a lot of fun. Today's comment question is this leak real? So I want to know from you guys, is this leak real? At the end of this video, there's a giveaway for a very cool Super Smash Bros. Ultimate pin that's exclusive to Europe, but anyone in the world can win it here on Block Content. All right, guys, let's just get into this. Okay, this leak, it's looking real. I gotta say it's looking real. So the image shows the Inkopolis stage, the Moray Towers. From Splatoon, it looks like exactly like what we've seen. We can even trace like the way the clouds move and the way the stage looks, because the looks always kind of differ. We can look at the resolution of the picture, which is very high, and we can even look at some clipping that happens with the feet of the characters. Of course, one thing really stands out, which is Ken. And not only does Ken have an original model in this picture, which looks like Ryu's model, like it looks kind of like his original incarnation, but touched up a little, like the jawline, the chin, a little bit more chiseled than we remember. So I'm definitely in camp. Oh man, we might have a real leak on our hands over here. So it's a bit scary. I definitely see that this leak could be disproven on a couple of accounts. One of these could be that this model could definitely be ripped from a Street Fighter game and been given the proper lighting. And of course, the other models could have been taken from like in-game either screenshots or gameplay. However, they have not at this moment been found yet. And there's also a lot of beta imagery on this image. There's text, there's character, there's capacity lists, there's even threads that you can read, percentages. So as far as like legitimacy of this image goes, like it's like the headquarters of Nintendo or something. Like it's definitely a beta screenshot, and it looks very, very scary. I mean, it looks like it could definitely be real. Now, I see Pac-Man, Pichu, and Ivysaur in this image. And what I find interesting is that these poses, we've not seen them in this exact pose before. We've seen these characters, we've seen these portraits, and on portraits, I'm gonna come back to you on that one. But people have been like comparing the image to the sizes they were in Smash 4. They've been comparing Ryu's size because they're supposedly very close and similar in size. But it's not yet happened that someone's completely debunked this. Now, what I want to say about these characters is I've religiously watched all the footage from Ultimate. I've seen the trailers for Pokemon Trainer, I've seen the trailers for Pichu, I've seen the trailer for Pac-Man, I've seen all the images, I've seen even most of the gameplay footage of this game. I mean, if you're block content, you're going to do your homework, right? I don't see how people could have attained these images. Like, they're all in the same resolution, they're all in the same view, right? They're all in the same camera angle. And I know Smash is like a 2.5D game, but it's still a very spectacular feat to see this. At first sight, of course, Ken jumps out because the characters next to him are not like Marth or Ryu or Little Mac. They're not humanoid characters. They are Pac-Man, Pichu, and Ivysaur, like as far away from a humanoid character as you could. So, of course, he sticks out a little bit. But if you compare it to the way Ryu looks in this game, I mean, it's uncanny. And one thing for me that kind of does this in, like, that's like a surefire, is that Ken's model looks really, really good. He attains like his old hairstyle and everything, which is something that Sakurai would definitely do. He looks like the perfect Echo, right? Just add in a few taunts, add in a new victory animation, and just go. I mean, that would be perfect. People would be okay with that, I think. But also look at the lighting. Smash Ultimate has this new sort of lighting engine that means the characters are getting some sort of white outline because supposedly there's a light source from behind them, right? Which of course isn't really realistic at all. But it looks a lot like Super Mario Galaxy, and it looks a lot like what characters look like on the Mario Galaxy stage in Smash 4. Now, you can see that this lighting affects the characters in tiny ways, but you can definitely see it on Pichu's ears, you can see it through the leaves of Ivysaur, you can see it on the hands of Pac-Man over here, and definitely you can see it on the pants of his judo outfit on Ken. So to me, that's a detail that not many leakers would do. There is a strong possibility that this is real just simply because of like the details in this image. We can see that there is such detail in the front of the stage, you know, the textures used. You would not be able to get these textures or this zoomed in look from the gameplay footage that they've released so far. That's just not possible. And also the fact that we have feet clipping through the stage. I mean, Ivysaur and Pichu, they look fine, but then you look at Pac-Man's foot and of course Ken's foot over there. That are things that they happen in the game. There have been screenshots floating around of Link standing on that exact bridge and his feet, perfectly moving. But I think that as far as taunts go in the game, I think that those are kind of fixed and moves are kind of fixed too. I think walking animations and idle animations, they have the feet programmed to move along the ground. So characters can slightly like tilt over or tilt back, and their feet as well. You can see this in a lot of games, like Super Mario Odyssey does it like all the time, Zelda Breath of the Wild does it all the time. I think it's very realistic to see this happen because they are taunts and moves. Like of course Pac-Man is doing a standard move, and we can see Ryu here doing, or Ken rather here do his taunt. This could be his up taunt, like putting a thumbs up would be a perfect up taunt. I think Mario's new up taunt is like very close to this because we haven't seen Mario's growing taunt yet, and I think that the best way to do a thumbs up like on a directional pad would be up, right? So this would make sense perfectly in my opinion. There have been people that have been looking at the icons on the bottom, right? The icons, they look strange. They look like there's something wrong with them. First off, I want to notice that Pac-Man's hand has been cut off, but a lot of people have been saying, yeah, that was the case in the E3 demo. However, from August 8th on, the gameplay, Pac-Man's fist has been viewable from this icon. So that's new, right? That's the new addition. The leak doesn't show Pac-Man's hand in his character artwork. It just gets caught off there, which kind of looks strange, especially seeing that a few other characters actually overlap the image, and it would make sense for Pac-Man to do this as well. So in the newer images, Pac-Man's arm and hand overlap this. What would be the case that this image does not do it? Well, I have two theories. Number one, it's a fake leak, and they just look at the E3 footage to just get the portraits right. But number two, which I think is a lot more likely, this is not an image that has been captured a few days ago. This might have been footage that was captured months ago. I think it's possible that someone either working at Smash headquarters with Sakurai in the building, or someone working at Nintendo or any of the other, like maybe Nintendo of Europe or something, they have the demo, they have some sort of demo beta footage of this or the actual gameplay, and that they could realistically get this image. I think that if there are like beta versions floating around right now in the office, they would not have the information displayed on the screen that you see right now. So I think that this image is real, but also really old. I think that there's a truth to this, but I think that if they were doing something like this, this would have been a while ago in development. And yes, the whole term of Echo Fighters, having Dark Pit, Lucina, and then having Daisy, having characters like Richter, I mean, it makes perfect sense for Ken to be there from a very early point. And of course we know that Sakurai always has his project plan finished way before they're in development, so they don't just add characters in later, they know exactly what the roster is. In most cases, I mean, sometimes they added clones later in development, like in Melee, but the recent Smashes, they've always had a clear project plan. This is what we're going to do, and these are the characters that we're going to include. So the overlapping image, we can see Pichu's ear has been cut off at the top of his image, which is weird, I agree, and we can of course see Pac-Man's hand. However, one other thing that I have to note is that Ken actually has a character portrait. What happens in the game, if characters overlap these portraits, like if playable characters overlap these portraits, the portraits will become like transparent. They will alpha out. So Pac-Man, of course, has his foot right under Ken's portrait, which would mean that the players really want to see this character in motion and not just see the portrait overlap these characters, which I think is very smart, and it's a very like new agey thing to add, like a very smart thing. But it does mean that Ken's portrait is kind of not viewable. However, there is a hint of it, and we can actually see it. And I think that if you were a leaker, if you were good with Photoshop, and if you are modeling, if you are creating 3D models, then it's a big stretch to not just make an image of Ken, but also to include other characters in that image, include a stage that we've seen in a new way, include, you know, the almost best quality you could have from a leak, right? I mean, this is close to like having an in-game shot, but also have his character portrait right there and just be upfront about it. I don't believe that this is a leak. I don't believe that this is fake. I believe that this is true. I believe it's very old, and that the things that we see in the image are subject to change when we see a lot more. It may even be possible that we see Ken the very first time that we see some more Super Smash Bros. Ultimate footage. I really want to know what you guys think. Like, is this real? Is Ken in the game? Like, Ken supposedly like always was in the game, right? I mean, it's a very easy jump to make, and of course we had the box art leak too. But guys, let me know in the comments, is this real? I would love to know what you guys think of this. If you comment down below, your comment could be featured in our next video, which would be awesome. Today's comment question is this leak real? As for the previous comment question, our answer comes to us by way of the Upper Nimbus, saying, "People are looking into this way too much. It's just a temporary design for the box. Yes, Ken will be in the game, and yes, we'll probably get a Pokemon character. However, Shadow and Skull Kid are still missing from the assist trophies, and there's been a huge trend of missing in action assist trophy characters becoming playable. Also, Geno is almost guaranteed to be the final announced character for the game. No way in heck Sakurai not gonna put him in after all these years of wanting Geno himself. Everyone just needs to chill and watch on, as we've got plenty of characters left to reveal. Trust me on this one, there's plenty of hype remaining." Well, thanks, Upper Nimbus. That straightened my voice a little bit. I've got some studio stuff today, so gotta watch the voice. Anyway, thank you so much for that comment question. Of course, there is a giveaway as well. We have this awesome Super Smash Bros. Ultimate pin. You can win this pin. All you gotta do, like this video, so press the thumbs up, subscribe to Blocked Content, which is awesome. If you haven't already, welcome to the group. Just hit that button, ring the bell, comment down below, and just tell a friend about block content. Let's share the love, everybody. So let me know why you deserve this pin, and maybe you can actually put it on when you play Super Smash Bros. Ultimate in December. So it's very cool. We also have a Patreon page. We have like the most awesome loyal fan base that I could wish for. Very happy that we're very close to hitting 15k subscribers, which I would get cake for, and I would share it with all of you on the live stream. I would just eat cake on a live stream and not talk. That would be awesome. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, if you're not yet a member of the Block Content family, it's just a click on that subscribe button away. All that news, all the leaks, all the animations, the Snake Codex will be delivered weekly to you. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you around the corner, where there's always more leak speak, there's always more animation, and there will always be more blocked content. See ya.